So you may have seen clips from the Whatever podcast come up on your Instagram reels. It's a pretty pointless and toxic podcast that births an even worse comment section. And I thought today we'd have a look at that together because every time I see a clip from it, it makes me feel kind of sick. And yeah, welcome back after 5 days. Whoops. Right, so the YouTube channel for the Whatever podcast actually has over 4 million subscribers. So I can't really criticize and say who the fuck is watching it because people are watching it somehow, and I think that makes me slightly scared for the world. So if I get any of the minions in my chat, welcome. So I had a quick look at their YouTube channel, and they've actually stopped making actual videos and they only live stream now. And the funniest thing is their content used to be really weird. I can't even show it on here because the thumbnails are just too provocative, I guess. And I'm assuming the reason they stopped making actual videos is because the content they want to make isn't going to get monetized, which, you know, fair enough, everyone wants that sweet money coin. But what fascinates me, okay, what fascinates and boggles my mind, the contrast of the content that they used to produce on their channel. The content that they used to produce was clear male gaze bait. And what they try and do now is basically paint women to be the downfall of men's issues. So I'm boggled right now. From what I've seen, it's primarily just this one dude, Brian, who is the host, debating a variety of women, many of which are corn stars or in that industry. The way the podcast actually holds itself is almost as if its main goal is to steer men away from the corn industry. For example, in the description of some of the live streams, there's a link that says 7-day free trial to stop your corn addiction. But to me, bringing on a bunch of corn stars and lonely fans models isn't really the way I would try and send home a message that pornography is bad for your brain. I do genuinely have a really strong opinion on corn and what it's done to the world, but to be perfectly honest, if I was going to try and send home this message, this is the stupidest way to do it. I have no problem if their aim was to try and encourage men to get hold of their addiction and just batter it down. But that's just not, that is clearly, like, you'll see further on in the video, that is not what they're trying to do. It's also funny because, like, bringing on corn stars into a podcast, being like, oh, grr, corn is bad for you guys, stop watching it. But simultaneously putting in your thumbnails these corn stars with provocatively made images to be like, guys, you really should stop watching it. Like, although click on this video because I know you want to, because look at the boobies on the front. It's like the biggest juxtaposition ever. It makes no sense. So sure, beat your addiction, guys. I mean, corn bad, corn women bad, but look at the thumbnail. There's tits. And, you know, not only this, it literally funds their career. Sitting there like chat bull all you want about corn stars, but you're literally putting them in your thumbnail to look good, putting them on your podcast where they're going to get views. You're helping selling their service. And like, I have a problem with using the whole corn is bad for the world mindset to bring corn stars on, degrade them, say it's bad, and get views. It's so weird. It's such a weird concept. Right, so they don't just discuss corn. They talk about feminism, abortion, trad marriages, etc. All the controversial things you could possibly imagine. I stumbled across a video where they're literally talking about abortions and oh my god. What's interesting is they seem to gather a majority of women that have very pick-me mindset, stick them in the room with a host, and then get like one woman who has like quite nuanced and good beliefs and just go in on her. Like, the person who has like genuinely normal opinions is the one that always ends up being put in the thumbnail as like psycho troll goes crazy or angry feminist storms out. It's like, oh my god, bro, stop.
I feel like a male pick-me would make a video that's like, when she's on her period and I just want to bring her chocolate and massage her feet. Please pick me. I've never touched a woman, please. You know?
I feel like all the dudes that like aggressively support like abortion and like feminism, I feel like they're all pick-me's.
Me
Especially
too.
on like social media and stuff. It's
all
like,
I see with that is like, I want to have sex with the girl and not be responsible at all. And I'm very pro-life, and I think a huge part is holding men and women accountable for their decisions.
Isn't that saying that the only men that are pro-choice are men that sleep around, which is not true? It's literally not true. In fact, most men I know around me at university, most men I have in my family, they are all pro-choice. They're all married with kids, or they're in a relationship, or they're tied down. I've talked about this before. I've had an abortion. I had one last year, and I met my new current partner, and why would he have to pretend to be okay with that when it doesn't affect him? And he is fine with that. He's never given me a massive lecture about how I'm a murderer. So it's pretty It's interesting they went from talking about being a pick-me to literally her giving the most pick-me reply ever. And like, sorry that you've not been surrounded, like all these people, okay, sorry you've not been surrounded by good people at any point in your life, but their argument would be that the good people I claim to be surrounded by are doing it for validation. But again, take my partner, for example. What would he gain from pretending to be okay with abortion? Why would he give a shit whether I've had an abortion? You know what I mean? Makes absolutely zero sense. It doesn't affect him. And yeah.
World. Yes. So we're gonna just let the guy get off the hook so easily that's not fair to women then.
What do you mean by let a guy get off the hook?
Like these guys that are advocating for abortion, I think abortion only benefits men in the sense of that a man can have, if abortion's totally legal in a state, I don't think a man is going to take as many precautions to protect himself from creating a life. I think it incentivizes people to use abortion as a form of birth control rather than take the necessary steps beforehand.
Bro's acting like abortion is the easiest thing you can do. She's acting like you literally just pop a pill and nothing. Like, what a stupid mindset. Like, tell me you've not had one without telling me you've not had one, because that is insane. I don't think anyone that's been through one is sitting there being like, yeah, I'll just use this as birth control. Even really early on, that's not a pleasant experience to go through. And the fact that she's saying this means you've never had one, have you?
And I just don't see how why would a man support abortion? Why?
So the only two kinds of guys that I've ever seen support abortion are the ultra simps that are like, yeah, I support feminism, like Biden, all that kind of stuff. The ultra simps and the dudes that are running through chicks and they want that like escape hatch.
Right, again, another point. I know so many people that support it and they're in a relationship. They have no need to be sleeping around with other people or to be ultra simps. Yeah, like it makes me such a simp for like wanting women to do the right decision for themselves and also that potential child. Yeah, simp behavior.
But when you speak like that, it makes it seem like, obviously, yes, abortion is, I guess, a form of birth control in the end, but it's not. It's not like, oh, either I can get this IUD or just keep getting abortions. Like, obviously, you've probably never had to have an abortion, right, since you're pro-life. An abortion is not just a simple, let me just walk in and, oh, baby gone. It's a very...
I mean, that's exactly what I was just saying. Like, that's so true. It's not like you can just be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get one, it's fine, no problem. When she said, oh, you're pro-life, what would you know? Exactly, you literally have no idea. So, oh god, I don't know why I picked to watch this because it's really gonna annoy me. They always pick the most like genuinely brain dead people to come on the podcast, and the problem is with that is that a lot of these are OnlyFans models, meaning people are going to make the correlation and being like, oh, OnlyFans model and she's brain dead, who would have thought? The problem is these girls that have these pick me opinions that genuinely seem like there's not a single thought behind their eyes, they are just stupid because they're stupid, and it's literally not anything to do with the fact that they do OnlyFans. What annoys me is that they bring these debates to a podcast that fuel like stupid, pointless conversations. Because the reason I think it's pointless is because why do I want to sit here and listen to pro-lifers talk about how abortion is bad and then have men talk about how abortion is bad? Like, to me it's pointless because you're clearly never going to have one then. Why do you care? My question is, are you going to adopt people's childs? If people get pregnant and they're in a really bad position and they can't have it, will you adopt it? Probably not. So, hush. As well, like, the titles are always stuff like angry feminist goes feral and psycho troll gets kicked out, and it's just like the language alone is just misogynistic. People will be like, oh my god, it's not that deep, Kate, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But like, I feel like, and this is, I don't know if this is a reach or not, but this is such an entry way to go down the alt-right pipeline, because if you just look at the language used in the comment sections and the way they talk to the women in these podcasts and the way some of the women talk about other women in these podcasts is so toxic. And the thing is, it's labeled a lot of the time as comedy, and it's definitely bringing in a lot of views. For example, everybody's seen the clip of the girl labeling herself a 10 and they all laugh at her and take the mick, and that went viral and it brings people to the podcast. It's just a really like weird podcast. Another part of it is that Brian always reads a comment out being like, get the girls to rate themselves. And then when they do, it's either to degrade them for their answer or to get girls to turn against each other. And I remember seeing this one clip, which I will show you now, because I was just like, what the fuck is this?
So we're going to go around the table, and we're going to start with you. Go ahead.
I say 6.
Girl. I'm sorry, of yourself, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. I so disagree with that.
Okay.
Well, if 5 is average and 10 is perfect, I'm far from perfect. I say 6. I'm
Sure.
above average.
Nikki, what about you?
I'm 10.
Nikki's
my own real Delulu.
okay.
Real delusion.
She's a 10 in delusion. Okay, what about Sophia? What about you?
I don't want to rate myself.
Why is that?
Because I don't want to.
Who would? Who literally would? I'm sorry, but look at that room. There's not a thought behind anyone's eyes. And I wouldn't feel like I'm not being judged in front of one single person in that room. And why would I want to answer a man asking me to rate myself just for him to then be like, you're not a 10, you're ugly as fuck. You know what I mean? And if it's not Brian saying anything outwardly, it's all of them in the room being like, or like looking at each other weird. Like, you can't say the right answer. You literally can't answer correctly. So I wouldn't want to answer either. And the way they all react to this made me cringe. Like, get a grip. Like, sorry that all of your lives revolve around how you look, but shut up. It actually annoys me so much. And I can't even like necessarily blame the girls because this is such good like clout, I guess. I'm not saying they're all lonely fans girls, but if they are, this is perfect advertising. So
Okay.
I mean, you're not Batman. Like, it's just a simple question. It's just I pick.
Oh, I hate her. I hate her. It's a simple question, but it's also a pointless question. Like, again, in her head, she's just gonna be like, why would I want to rate? Why would I want to do this? Oh God, it's so weird, man.
Number. How you feel like right now?
Just on personality.
Okay, so let's say 5 is average. Would you say you're average looking? Do you say you're above average looking? Physical appearance?
Yeah,
wise?
this would be me. And they take the mick out of her because it's like, oh, she doesn't know what to say. But like, this would literally be me. I'd be like, why are you asking me this dumbass question, man? Like, why? Just for everyone in the comments, everyone that's watching to then decipher whether your answer is accurate or not. It must be a really degrading experience. Well, I wouldn't want to do that either.
It's okay to be honest.
I'm sorry.
But it's not okay to be honest, because as soon as you say a 10, people say you're not a 10. And as soon as you say you're a 5, people take the mick out of you because it looks like you're being a pick me. So realistically, you can't really win. And this is kind of a series. They ask in every video that I've seen, like, oh, what do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? It's like, oh my God, this is content.
To rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10, their looks, physical looks, scale 1 to 10. We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
8.
So 8.5.
8, 8.5.
I'm a 10. 7.
8.
6.5.
I'd say 7.58, 4.
That's lower than last time. Yeah. I used to say 6. I'm a 5.
In front of all these beautiful women, how could I ever not humble myself down to a 4, really?
Does that just not make you like that just, it literally just makes me like, it's not funny. Like, I know the point of that was to be like, oh, like, the first girl is not an 8. Like, it's so obvious to get a plus size person on and then be like, rate yourself, because you know that you can slap it in the title and be like, plus size girl. And they won't even say that, by the way. They won't be like, plus size girl. They're not going to say that. They'll use other words. Rates herself a 10. Delusional. Like, and if you think like, Katie, why are you coming to that conclusion? That says more about you. But just look at the account. That is the type of title that they would make it. And it's like, that dude's answer being like, how can I not rate myself a 6 in front of all these beautiful women? How old are you, bro? Your beard is turning grey. You should be doing other things with your life. Retire. Literally retire. Why are you sat on a podcast to judge other women? The internet fucking terrifies me. Now they're gonna go and debate about how each person rated themselves because this is thrilling content.
Proud of you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Took guts.
I'm a 5. I give myself a 5. So wait, 8, 8.5, 10, 7? 8? Okay. All right.
Brian, you rated yourself lower than usual.
Yeah, I've been getting a little chubby.
6.5.
See, now that's humble.
Yeah, that's humility.
That's
right there.
humble. That's humility. Right? That's the thing that's usually harder for men to do. Just say it. Just point it out.
I've noticed a pattern here. I think men tend to fairly accurately self-assess their own level of physical attractiveness, whereas...
But the thing is with saying, oh, on this podcast, like, all the men have rated themselves correctly. They know that's because then they haven't got any room for the girls to say, like, you're not a 6 or you're not a 7. By rating themselves as low as they can, it is kind of pick me energy. Like, he sat there being like, a 5, like it's lower than last time. Like, I don't care, okay? And it's just to make the girls that are saying 10 look stupid. It's not because they genuinely think they're a 6 and we should be like, oh my god, like, you're not a 6, you're a 10, Brian. Like, Brian, shut up. If my dad was doing this, okay, because I think he's old enough to be my dad, I would do bad things to the world.
As
I've heard
women
men
not so
have
much.
more self-esteem issues than women do.
What's that?
I've heard
men have more self-esteem issues than women do. But this is the problem. Like, why are you getting on women with these stupid ass opinions? Like, this is the thing. They get on women with annoying ass opinions, and then one woman who just is normal, and then it just makes women look bad. And you could say, Kate, you're being a bit harsh, aren't you? But shut up. Do men have more self-esteem issues than women? Where is that? You heard that from where? Like, I'm not saying men don't have self-esteem issues, and I honestly am the first person to advocate for the fact that men probably keep their insecurities hidden a bit because it's not beta and alpha male to have insecurities, and I reckon they do. But me, as if like women don't have this insane beauty standard to live up to, like to the smallest thing. Oh, do you have hip dips? You better not, because that makes you ugly. You gotta have that little slope nose, you gotta have big boobies, and you gotta have a massive ass. Come on. Okay, there is a mountain that piles on top of women of ways that you should and shouldn't look. So I don't think it's fair at all to say, I've heard men have more self-esteem issues. Like, okay, why don't we just say, or everyone has self-esteem problems? Honestly, comment down below if you agree or disagree. I'm honestly open to hear people's opinions, and also I'm not discrediting men's self-esteem problems. Like, I know it exists, but I think that was a rather pick-me-ass statement.
men have more self-esteem issues than women do.
I feel like I disagree a little.
Why would you say that?
Just, and I also heard that they're also more emotional.
Yeah, exactly. Even the men were like, because it's a pick-me statement. You want men to be like, oh my god, she recognizes that men have problems. Like, I recognize that men have problems, but I don't do it in a pick-me way. I can also appreciate that men have self-esteem issues and women have self-esteem issues without acting like men take the fucking crown for that. And like, acknowledging as well that women have this like whole attitude towards their appearance, which is like everything you can look like will be a trend and it's going to change ever growingly, and you're going to have to constantly change yourself. Like, shut up.
Are they?
Who have you heard these
Yeah,
things
because
from?
well, I mean, you guys will act off based off pride, and that is going to be like an emotion thing, not necessarily logic.
Okay.
Do you think men or women have more cosmetic surgery?
I think probably women.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know, probably women. Oh my god. As like cosmetic surgery, what, not probably women, you know it's women. You just wanted to make a point to make yourself look cool in front of the men, like you care about men's mental health. Okay, and here was the final one of the rate yourselves one that I found that just made me cringe, and it's called Bangs rates herself a 10 but gets humbled instantly.
People are here. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Starting with you, go ahead.
I've already thought about this. I saw that earlier, and I was gonna say like I'd say like probably a 6 or a 7, probably close to a 7.
Okay.
To be generous.
A 10.
All right.
A 7.
Give myself a 6, mate. Okay. So 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
So perfect. You guys are perfect.
In my own eyes, absolutely.
Perfect. But it's just
Why am
clarification.
I gonna come onto the internet and be like, yeah, I'm a 5? Like, I'm just putting myself down. It took me so long to love myself, Brian. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna be like, I love myself. I'm a 10. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you don't think I'm a 10, but I'm beautiful. And
Wait,
if you
so
can't-
question. Should everybody be a 10?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
everybody.
Should all women, are all women 10s?
I think we should all feel like a 10. I just wasn't going to go in with that because I think they're 10s and they're rating themselves 7s. So I'm like,
Okay, all right.
I think women
But
are beautiful.
So all women should be 10s?
I think all women, I agree. They should all feel like 10s,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They all have
Should
the
all
right.
are all men 10s?
All men should feel like they're 10s, absolutely.
No, but do you view all men as 10s?
I mean, of course not.
Whoa.
What
But I'm rating myself.
What dumbass logic is that? Bro, you asked them how they would rate themselves. You didn't ask, oh, how would other people rate you? You said, how would you rate yourself? I don't know if this man has any brain cell in his head. And like, Brian, my man, please just stop doing this content. And like, I can't even criticize because we know it's all going to do well because they get loads of women in it that are conventionally attractive.
Am I not?
I'm not rating you.
Yeah,
or
but
any
you said,
of like.
I think Brian gets so
But
hurt
couldn't-
anytime somebody rates themselves a 10.
Yeah,
Brian,
I'm deeply
relax.
hurt. I'm deeply hurt. I'm
Relax.
so hurt.
I feel like a healthy self-image is based on number one, your own self-love. That should come first, but it should also come from outside influence as well. Not that shouldn't be the main thing, but it is a health.
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. So, because then you're saying that like if you don't fit at all into a beauty standard, then like you should really take that into consideration. Why? Why would you do that? That's dumb ass logic. Yeah, no, I can't actually do this anymore. I honestly just sit here and I think Brian and any girl that goes on there, why? What are you doing? You're just fueling this horrible, uncomfortable environment where it's just okay to kind of make us go back as a society. All right. And, I'm not going to watch any more clips because it's genuinely infuriating me. But if you enjoyed the Whatever podcast, go and check it out. I'm concerned if any of my viewers enjoy that type of content. Maybe this isn't the channel for you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I've watched enough today. If you want me to watch any more of it, let me know. And I will see you lovely people again soon.